Welcome back to another tutorial. Today we'll be looking at a basic revolve. Before we get to what revolve we're going to do, so firstly this is just a normal interface. So new file, we want to create a component. I just want to view all my planes. I want to do another sketch, and then obviously they ask you what. Over here they ask you what plane you want to sketch on. Let's say front plane for now. So the design we will do, it's some sort of basic pulley design. Okay, so it's going to be from the front view. You're going to see the actual thing we're going to draw. It's just going to be a normal T shape. If your name starts with a T, that's nice. I'm happy for you. But from the front view, it will look like a T. But from your right view or your left view, it will look like an actual pulley. Okay, so basically we just do the T and then we use a revolve function, where we start revolving it around some sort of center point or origin or whatever. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how to do a basic T drawing. Let's start off. We want to sketch here. Let's make some lines. We have a line here. T goes up. So we're basically designing just a normal T so far. We'll add some relations now. By relations, I'll show you now what I mean. Okay, so basically what is a relation? These little green things here, as you can see, that means it's equal to something here and it's equal to something there. That equals that side. Okay, so basically that's sort of what it means. It means that that plus that equals that top line. Okay, basic maths. Then that's concentric, that's what they mean. And then these two lines are vertical against each other. So basically as soon as you change the one, because they're in relation, the other one's also going to change, according to me. So let's just see what it does. Let's say from dimension from there to there. Let's make it 50. Let's make it 50. Okay. Let's make this little edge here. Can you see that the other side, as soon as we did the 50, the other side did exactly the same height. From that corner to that corner, and that corner to that corner, it's exactly the same, because these two are in relation. Okay. Now relations you can also add manually. Or sometimes when you draw a nice line, you'll see somewhere it gives you that option. It gives like a dashed line, which means it snaps onto that line. Now if you use those snap lines, usually it will give its own dimensions and relations. But I'll show you now how to do your own relations if you don't know, if you didn't get the snap lines or those type of things. Okay, so let's just make this corner on top 10. So we're making it 10. We're making the other corner, as you can see, it also snapped to 10 as well because they're in relation. Let's make this little corner here at the bottom also 10, so it looks like a nice, how can I say, in order 10 or in order drawing. Let's make this inner sides, let's make it 15, so the T doesn't look that big. Let's also make this inner sides from here to there also the same. Okay, so basically that's sort of what our drawing looks like. Let's just move it closer to the origin. So basically the total length from that side to that side would be 40. Okay, so let's just make from that corner to the center, it's going to be minus 20, just to get it in the center. Basically that's all I want to mean. So I just want my drawings again in the center, so when I later do assembly, it makes it easier to assemble all these components. Okay, so that's in the center. Now the most important section, what you need to do, I'll get back to the relations now, don't worry, I didn't forget about it. So the most important section you need to do now is add a center line. Why do you want to add a center line? Basically it means, where are you going to revolve your drawing from? Are you going to revolve it around the vertical axis, around its horizontal axis, what you basically want to do? So it's easy, just go here to the drop down arrow, add line, and there it says center line. So just click center line. You make your center line somewhere here on the center, just makes it easier. You see it automatically snaps to something. Now that's when you start drawing a drawing, it will give you some sort of this to add its own relations. Okay, so we're adding the center line. Now, also the second most important part is you need to also dimension from your drawing to where your center line starts. Basically, if you dimensioning from here to there, you can also now see as soon as I did that, all the lines went black, means it's fully defined. Okay, so basically this dimension which I'm adding now is from that line to the center. What does that mean? It means that there's going to be a hole in here somewhere. Okay, if you didn't want a hole, it should be 0. Then it's going to be one solid component. Okay, but if there's a hole in the middle, now let's say from there to there, let's make a 10. Is 10. Now on the other side, this side, when it's going to do the revolve around the horizontal axis, it's also going to be 10. So it's going to be a 20 millimeters diameter circle cut out through the component. Just remember that. Okay, if you didn't want a circle or hole inside, you just make it 0 on the horizontal, and it will be nice and solid component in the middle. You'll see now as soon as I do the revolve. Okay, so basically now my sketch fully defined. Like I said, let me just quickly show you where to add relations. Okay, so basically you'll find it here in sketch. It says here display delete relations. Okay, so as soon as you do the drop down and you say add relation, it will give you select entities. Okay, so if you want to select entities, you can select maybe um, that line, and that line is vertical. So it gives you options now. It gives collinear, perpendicular, parallel, equal, those type of things. You guys understand? Okay, so all your deletions you can add here. But for now, we're not going to add any dilation, any relations. Just going to make a drawing confusing. Okay, so now we finally we finished our drawing for the T. Now I'm going to show you how to do revolve. It's very easy. So most of the things you want to do, like cut and extrude, which I've did the previous tutorial, this one, you also go to features. Now on here, on the top here, it says revolve boss base. It says extruded boss base. So basically just go revolve boss base. As soon as you click it, it's going to already show you an idea where it wants to revolve from. Okay, if it doesn't show you, just go select contours and then you choose what you want to revolve. Now this is nice because it automatically does it. Okay, and then basically you can change it here 360 degrees, or you can make it maybe only 180 degrees if you want half a pulley or something like that. Okay, so as soon as we click the green arrow, gives us something like this. Now basically that's a sort of pulley with a cutout in the middle. Remember now that cutout, if you didn't want it, there's your T. Can you actually see your T's there? So that dimension to that dimension is 10 times 2, so it gives a 20 millimeter diameter hole. So if you don't want that hole, you just set in that dimension, just set 0. So there would have been a cutout in the middle. Okay, so that's just to show you basically how to do it. What I also want to show you today, quickly, I know it's just a basic revolve, but let's add another feature. Let's go to fillet. Basically, fillet's here on the top. Can you see there? As soon as you press the arrow, it's a drop down. It says fillet or chamfer. Let's just add a fillet, and I'll also add a chamfer, just to give you an idea what you're working with. So let's just add the fillet here. Let's add it in this inner shield. Okay. So as soon as we click it, it gives you a sort of preview of what will happen. If it doesn't give you a preview, just go here. You say partial preview, it gives you a partial preview, or no preview, doesn't give you a preview. But just say full preview. I prefer it. Makes you see what you're doing. Okay. So in here, it actually gives you what radius you want to do the chamfer, or sorry, not the chamfer, the fillet radius with. Basically, just creating a nice round corner and not a sharp edge corner. You will want that with engineering sector for safety, as well as to make sure it doesn't damage any other components in the assembly. Like maybe if a pulley system usually runs on a belt, you don't want sharp edges to damage the belt, because then you need to keep replacing these belts, which are very expensive. So let's make the radius maybe 5. Let's say the green arrow, yes. Can you see now on the inside? There's a nice little corner with a nice radius. Gives you an idea of what is going on. Okay. So let me also just show another feature. Let's go to fillet again. Let's choose chamfer. Let's chamfer the outer edge. Let's just give you an idea of what's happening. Let's make it also 5. Let's see what happens. Partial preview, full preview. Let's just see. Let's say yes. Can you see now that it's giving some sort of this radius? So it cuts off the sharp corners, which makes it a bit safer. So basically that's some features we'll definitely use in Revolve. Usually in a pulley system, we'll ask you just to create these little safety features and all those type of things. So basically that's just a basic revolving guide of how to do it. I think in a later tutorial maybe I'll do a more difficult one. You can also do a round, like a bowl shape revolve. I'll get to that. That's also very basic. And then I think I'll do another assembly tutorial. All those things will come later. So basically, if this guide was helpful, please leave a comment or a like. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next tutorial. Please, if you have any ideas or things you can add to this, you can also leave it in the comment section. So enjoy your day and thank you.